You can't do that. It's uncomfortable. Like, we're all so uncomfortable right now, but that's why we need to do this and talk about it. That's the thing I love about comedy, is that this is the only place where we can talk about this. If I brought this shit up in front of 50 fucking people at a restaurant, I would be tasered, right? That's the gift of comedy, and thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong in collaboration with Wolfwise Media. Featuring Don Frost and Jason Traeger.
We're gonna have some fun. Right now, I'm gonna bring up a very special guest, a very funny man. I started doing comedy with him first bait. I learned to just be myself on stage because this guy cannot do anything but be himself. Please welcome to stage Mr. Don Frost. Here he is, everybody.
Hi. Yeah, I had to do this show because everybody hates Todd. So I was like, really the last of them. After this show, there's no one left. You know what I mean? Man, he told me, he's like, the theme of this show is to talk about what you were like before you did comedy and what you are now. And I was like, well, dude, I used to be a woman. And then, right? Isn't that crazy? No, I'm not. And so the thing is like, it's a crazy, like, that this is like permanent tattoos, and tattoos are so funny. To me, I've got shitty ones, so I learned, like, I don't know what influenced me in the 90s to be like, man, I need tribal tattoos. You know what I mean? I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I'm that guy that rides a bike. And I'm like, fuck, don't look at my calves. It was a bad decision. And I'm like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why I decided to go with tribal. Nothing about me is tribal at all. Like, I have never even been in waist-high grass. Like, how can I call myself tribal? Oh, well, bad decision. And it's everybody. My nephew's an idiot. He got a tattoo on his neck that says wicked. And I'm like, really? I was like, we all know that words change their meaning over time. Do you think there's some 80-year-old guy out there that has swell tattooed on his neck? Like, it could be a possibility. So, and like, since I've been doing comedy, it's like weird shit happens to me. Like, the thing is like, I didn't choose this business. I was forced into it. I wanted to be a fucking truck driver. Can you believe this? And I'm stuck doing this? God damn it. And the thing is the funny, like, that's all I want to do is like shift gears and spit out the window. And it's like now it's like I have the weirdest experiences doing stand-up. Like, people do and say shit to me that bothers me. You know what I mean? But not like, since I've done stand-up, people like, can you imagine doing a show and then making jokes about all the loggers in the front row and then walk outside and they have a chainsaw? And they look at me and they're like, we fucking love you, man. Let's get in the truck and let's cut down a fucking tree together. And I'm like, why not? I'm drunk. This is a story. You know what I mean? How'd you lose that arm? Ha ha, fucking. I was drunk cutting down a tree. Who would think? You know what I mean? So he's like, dude, you want to go up in a plane with me? And we'll jump out of the plane and you can just hang out in the plane as it goes to the ground. And I'm like, what? And I was like, buy me a lot of shots because I want to be hungover. Because I want to throw up in a plane. You know what I mean? No, I didn't throw up in a plane. I'm not gross. And so then, like, I know, like, I held it together, guys. So I went up in this plane, right? And the pilot's like, this is what we do. They jump out of the plane, and then as we plummet to the ground, you'll be weightless for a couple, like, 30, 40 seconds. I'm like, man, I'm so high. This is so cool, because you got to smoke shitloads of weed. And then, like, so the one thing that shocked me is what the one guy said to me before he jumped out of a plane. That blew my mind. The guy literally grabs me by the shirt like I owe him money, he's gonna hit me. You know what I mean? And he looks at me, he's like, if there's one lesson in life you need to learn, it's ice cold beer, and jumps out the fucking plane. And I'm like, what an idiot. Like, you had no opportunity in anything but life to do this. So then as I'm flying weightless, I'm looking at him, and I'm like, and they got me strapped in. I'm wearing my own parachute. It was funny because they gave me the pink one, like I would give a fuck. I'm like, just as long as it works. I don't give a shit. There's gonna be smoke coming off this thing when I pull that parachute thing. I just want to live. So then he gets back, and we're diving, right? And the team gets back into the airplane. And I look at him and it's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what did you mean about the ice cold beer? And he's like, you know exactly what I meant, and jumps back out. And I'm like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair to me. So we land on the ground, and I'm like, you guys are idiots. Just take me back to my goddamn hotel. So then I'll tell you 2 more stories. I'll get the fuck out of here, because this is fun. You guys are great. I was staying in this hotel, and my whole entire floor was Japanese businessmen. All of them, I was like, holy shit, maybe someone's gonna eat sushi off me. So then I'm like, so I get really drunk, right? Because you have to. And so I get to and I'm thinking, this is so cool. I'm like, I got culture. I'm cool. I'm from Portland. I know shit, man. So the elevator door opens, and there's 4 of these gentlemen standing there. So I want to prove to them that I have culture. So I look at them and I bow, right? And then look back up, and then one of the guys is like, we're Hawaiian, you asshole. And I'm like, it's crazy. Crazy. So the biggest thing that ever happened to me, was the craziest thing that ever happened in my comedy career, is after I got done with the show, I was working a club from Tuesday till Sunday, and then it was Thursday night, and this guy hollers out, he's like, Don, dude, drink with me and my buddies. Come here, we saw your show Tuesday, you're fucking funny, something. He's like, come on and hang out with us. He's like, it's totally cool, we're cops. And I look at him like, no one has ever said that. No one has ever said, hey man, it's cool, we're cops. So they bring me over the table, it's 7 cops, 3 firefighters, and me, right? We're having a great time, they're drinking, and these guys, these cops are undercover cops from the major crime unit in Los Angeles. And they're telling me stories about how they don't need to interrogate people, that people just tell them shit, just because their egos always destroy them. So we're sitting there, and this kid walks up, he's 22 years old. He has no idea that it's 7 cops, 3 firefighters, and me. And what was funny is these guys go out once a year to every city and party, and they call themselves Guns and Hoses, which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, that's cool. You're off the hook for a minute. So then this kid sits up, and he's really cool, and he's sitting, he's talking to us, and he's buying everybody beers, and then he looks at one of the cops, and he has no idea who he's sitting with. He's like, hey, you guys want to buy some Coke? And I'm like, oh my God, you fucked up. You fucked up so bad. So bad. How embarrassed I felt bad. And one of the cops leans over to me, he's like, watch, we'll get all this information. I say 15 minutes, we'll get everything from him. Within 10 minutes, they had found out how much cocaine he has at home, where he gets his Coke from his roommate's brother, and a number to another Coke dealer just in case we run out, right? So then one of the cops is like, let's do the Coke right here at the table. Let's see it. And the kid pulls out a bag. And one of the cops is like, yeah, let's do it at the table. And he's like, here, you can cut it up with this. And he slid his badge right in front of him. The look on this kid's face was just like, and he stood up, and one of the cops took a photo of him, and I was like, that's the funniest selfie I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely hilarious. So, and the whole mood of the table changed. Even me, I was like, it's a damn shame, son. Damn shame. So then one of the cops, the main cop, is like, you know, you're in a lot of trouble. And he's like, give me your driver's license, give me your phone. And the kid's just like shaking. And then I couldn't believe this happened. One of the cops looks right over at me and he's like, Captain, what do you want to do with him? Right! Because I told him that I always wanted to play a cop on TV. So without missing a beat, I looked right at him and was like, God damn it, Rodriguez, do I have to make every fucking decision for this unit? Can't I have a day off? Just a minute? Fucking idiots. And I look at the kid, I'm like, come here, kid, sit next to me. He's like, come here, son. Because I never say son, so I gotta say it like 1,000 times. And he's like, yes, Captain. And I'm like, yeah, you say my rank, motherfucker. So I look at him, I was like, you're in a lot of trouble. You tried to sell cops cocaine, you have coke on you, and you bought all my boys beers. I consider that bribery. I was like, but I feel good right now. You know what? I'm gonna let you go, but you're gonna make me this promise, and I want you to know this, that I want you to say you're never gonna sell coke again. But I want you to know that one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but me and my officers are gonna be coming through your fucking door. And we're gonna see if you've got coke. And he's like, I'm done, I'm never gonna sell coke again. And I was like, that's okay. And so I look at the 3 firefighters and I'm like, Mahoney, Garcia, Schrader, escort this boy to the bathroom, have him dump out his coke. So they come back and they let him go and they're laughing. They're like, oh my God, that was a lot of coke. And I'm laughing. And I know somehow in my life, one day that kid's gonna walk into a comedy show and he's gonna see me and he's gonna be like, fuck, I could have been a successful coke dealer. All right, my name's Todd Frost, thank you.
I'm welcoming to the stage right now a very funny man, an amazing photographer, and an even better painter, Mr. Jason Traeger. Here he is, everybody.
Good evening. Give it up for Todd. I was also in the service in the 90s, Taco Bell. I was in the shit, drive-through window, night shift. Changed me. If the cops wanted to clear the streets of drunk drivers, just post up at the Taco Bell drive-thru after midnight on a weekend, arrest everybody as they come through. Operation Fourth Meal, safe streets. You know it's true. Let's just loosen up, get into this thing. Get warmed up with a little bit of mouth drumming. Kick-a-dick, kick-a-dick, kick-a-rickety-dick. I'm gonna get warmed up with a tiny bit of mouth drumming. Hug-a-duck, kick-a-rickety-dick. I'm gonna get warmed up with a tiny bit of mouth drumming. Kick-a-dick, hug-a-duck, piss tits. I'm gonna get warmed up with some mouth drums for you. Kick-a-dick, kick-a-rickety-dick, kick-a-rickety-dick, hug-a-duck. Kick-a-rickety, kick-a-rickety, kick-a-rickety-dick. Hug-a-duck, piss tits, hug-a-duck, piss tits, piss on your sister's tits. Hug-a-duck, kick-a-dick, hug-a-duck, kick-a-dick, hug-a-duck, kick-a-dick, hug-a-duck, kick-a-dick, kick-a-dick, hug-a-duck. Duck, goose, goose. Kick-a-rickety, 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 dick. Piss tits, piss on your sister's tits. Tits. Kick a dick. Tits, kick a dick. Tits, kick a dick. Tits, kick a dick. Piss on your sister's tits. Now that I'm warmed up, I'm gonna do my flippin' set. I like it. Me likey the sit-down comedy. Death metal singer who sings about life.
Nothing turned out the way I thought it would be. Kickity-huggaduck. All my friends care about are mortgages and children. I don't even know what a mortgage is. It's like a loan or something for a home. I'm over 40, I should probably get a colonoscopy. Don't know what scares me more, the bills or the procedure itself.
Are those death metal singers really singers, or are they just pretenders? I think they're just pretending to be monsters. Who started that style of singing? Was that Tom Waits? I think it was Tom Waits, godfather of death metal. I still support it, though. I do. I think we all pretend at some level. I think these people are just more honest about it. The pirates walking down the street in Portland. It's like, we pretend, but we just pretend to, like, have jobs. What do you do for a living? Oh, I make wind chimes. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Oh, that pays the rent? Yeah, well, no, but yeah, kind of. Yeah, my parents are putting money into the rent thing, but that's, just starting. The wind's been a little low lately, not a lot of wind, so it's picking up. It's gonna work out. Pretend to know what's going on. Just like, oh yeah, Crimea, did you hear about that? Yeah, Ukraine and Russia. Oh yeah, it's bad stuff. I think kind of maybe it's good, bad, not sure. We'll probably get involved. Oh God, typical. Yeah, where'd you get those shoes? Whatever. Yeah. I like this place. I like it here. I like Todd. I like Mitch. I like Trevor. I like comedy in Portland. I don't really have jokes. I just come up and be charming, and people just go, he was funny. I think that guy was funny. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know he was definitely funny. I think I just liked him. That's my whole technique. I don't know. Pretending. Portland, we were talking about Portland, right? People walking around, clowns on tall bags and stuff. I think it's great. I do think that Keep Portland Weird, though, I don't like that motto because I feel like it's counter-revolutionary in some way, because what it says to me is it says Portland's weird enough, and now we just need to maintain weirdo cruising altitude. And I think we can do a lot better than just having a unique civic culture. I think we should break through the membrane completely and just create a totally alien dimension. Todd Armstrong, are you back there? Todd Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Please keep clapping for Mr. Jason Traeger, everybody. Thank you very much.
Love this guy.
Before you leave the stage, I'd like to ask you a few questions on that same note.
Let's
not
do it.
Not the sugar titties thing. But, which that is a very adult wish. When you were a kid, did you want to be a comic?
I wanted to be an elf.
You want to be an elf?
God's honest truth.
Really?
Yes.
I want to be a forest ranger until I realized you'd get shot on poaching issues. That's not a dream, but
No, I did. The very first performance I ever did in front of people was a stand-up comedy routine as a child in front of my 4th grade class. I did some Steve Martin stuff. Said the word fart, got some big laughs from the kids. The teachers hated it. I was hooked.
Nice. Because I know the reason I love your perspective. I absolutely love your viewpoint on life. I love your art. I love your photography.
Thank you.
Well, other than me just blowing you metaphorically right now, I was more.
Do it.
I'm more. Why comedy? You seem to have the most passion when it comes to comedy. Like, I know you love painting, I know you love photography, but you're new every time. I mean, it's like there was maybe 30 seconds of jokes I'd heard before, and I'm a huge fan of yours. Right?
Painting with words, people. Painting with words.
Do you feel more in tune with the moment? Do you feel it's like visceral?
Yeah, you know, prior to getting back, I did comedy in the early 2000s for a few years, and then I stopped and focused on other things like visual arts, painting, and things like that. And I found that it was a very, you know, it's not a very social life. I don't like the cycles, and I don't like the world of fine art. It's just, you know. It's just, you know, it's not for the people. It's for a bunch of rich creeps, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe, you know, maybe it is. I don't know. The art that I was involved in, it just kind of made me a little dismayed. I like just, you know, comedy is just, you're out there, you're doing it, you get to hang out with people every night, you got your community, your friends, and you can paint pictures with words. You don't have to store a bunch of stuff no one wants to buy.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, it's definitely, it's the DMT of art. It really is. It's a fast forward, visceral, just
demented mental therapy.
It is. No, it absolutely is. That's what started for me. I mean, I started comedy point blank as a way of I couldn't afford mental health care. That's so you guys are.
It helps. It helps.
You guys are my therapist. I'm not even remotely playing with you for a second. Like the craziest motherfuckers I've met in comedy. Let's get real. It's like we are people that figure out our problems on stage in front of you people. So
yeah, it's a wonderful community here in Portland, especially. I mean, I have so many friends in the scene. I love everybody in the scene. I really, truly do. I'm not just saying that. It's like just great people, interesting, and you know, comedy. If you don't know the world of stand-up, you know, you're out almost every night if you're into it, you know, doing it seriously, and you're going to see the same people every night doing their thing, and so a community grows that a bond of you know, whatever you want to call it, codependence, inspiration, all that good stuff.
We're talking about mental health care. It's real. We need a little.
Yeah. No, but it really is. It's a bond, you know, and you get it's not like music where you're loading in a bunch of gear and you don't have time to talk. You know, you're talking all the time, and it's great. I look forward to it every night. You know, people sometimes say, "You do comedy 7 nights a week. How do you do that? Don't you?" I'm like, because I want to. I love doing it. It's like I feel weird if I don't. If I take a night off.
It's a nice passion to have. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming out for the show.
My pleasure. Oh my God.
Jason Traeger, everybody, please.
Todd Armstrong.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, people. You're all wonderful. Love you so much.
One more time, Jason Traeger, everyone, please.
Thank you.
Created and directed by Todd Armstrong, produced by Todd Armstrong and Dustin Erickson. Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong would not be possible without our supporters. Video recorded, edited, and animated by Wolfwise Media. Original pixel art by Anthony Justiniano. Audio recorded and mixed by Rowan Studios. Original music by Soda Vice Music. And I've been the Permanent Comedy announcer, Greg Nibbler. Thanks for watching this episode of Permanent Comedy with Todd Armstrong. Always enjoy the choices you make.